Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast, brought to you by Outdoor Vitals, makers of performance first ultralight gear. For myself, John Kelly, I'm here with Jeremiah Stringer, the king of Kentucky backpacking, who threatened me within an inch of my life if I did not introduce him this week. So we're on here, Jeremiah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Johnny's cracking me up.
Dude, I am breathing heavy. So we start this countdown timer at the beginning of every one of these things. And we're all talking while the countdown's going on and having a good old time. And dude, I was like, man, I need something to drink. I had COVID last week, so if I lose my voice halfway through this, you all know why. But yeah, so I went upstairs to get something to drink because I was afraid of me coughing the entire time. And long story short, I'm out of breath because I had to run up the stairs full speed with like 40 seconds left on the clock to get up there to the garage, grab my drink, and get back down here to start this thing. So, Jeremiah, tell them about Outdoor Vitals.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. By the way, everybody, John runs during this countdown timer. If you're not somebody that watches live on YouTube, then you probably don't know because we edited out for like the posted version of the podcast. And that's on him. He could have left at any point during that time.
I could have. I could have left it 2 minutes. But I realized with 40 seconds, I'm thirsty. So I ran.
Yeah. And in his defense, we do have a fantastic guest that we're going to talk to today here in a couple of minutes. So we were talking chit-chatting before, so he's probably caught up in the conversation. But a quick word from our title sponsor, Outdoor Vitals. They have something I've never seen before, the try before you buy. You try up to 4 items. You fill your cart to find anything you love. And then there's an 8-day trial where you try on any of their stuff in your home, and then returns are easy. You only pay for what you keep. I know some people do this with Amazon or department stores. You order stuff, you pay for it, then you ship it back, and you pay a little extra for shipping, and then you hope that you get your money back. You don't have to worry about all that with Outdoor Vitals. They have try before you buy. So we will link their website in the description. Thank you, outdoorvitals.com.
Yeah, man, we have a lot of people in the comments right now. I can't keep up with them, but there was one comment that really cracked me up. Can I show it to you real quick?
Absolutely.
Of course, first I'm going to show off the super chat that just came in from Derwin Off the Rails, $4.99.
Yeah.
This month's payment to stop the feet pics, John. Stringer just keeps sending them. So
I did post on Instagram. We've been talking a lot of kayaking.
Yeah.
And I posted a little picture on Instagram and captioned it about my feet. So if you're if you want to see my big old nasty feet, they're in the forefront.
There it is right there. Low for Extra said, these are the good old days. There's a lot of people on today, which is fun. And then All Things Outdoors heard the next backpacking book to hit the market is 50 Shades of David Gray.
That's hilarious.
That's fantastic. Okay, so Jeremiah, we got a great guest today. Great guest. He's only been on here like 87 times, but it doesn't matter. Every time is better than the last one. And this time it's really cool that he's coming on because he's okay, let me just set the stage for this guy. He's not only a DJ, photographer, videographer, YouTuber, owner of not one, not two, but 3 companies related to backpacking in Hiltop Packs Coffee, and Apex Giant Gear. He is now also a future award-winning author for his brand new book, 268 Things Backpackers, or 268 Mistakes Backpackers Make. His name is Ben McMillen, and Jeremiah, I can't tell you how excited we are to have him on, so let's bring him in right now. Woo, buddy. What's going on, man?
Crowd noise.
Yeah.
Not much, man. Just bored. Not a whole lot going on, you know.
I mean, I just went down a list of the things that you do, and it boggles the mind. Like, I don't even know how you have time to breathe. I don't even know how you breathe.
I got good. Well, good. Honestly, if you want the honest answer, I have good people around me. My wife takes care of me. My employees take care of me. All the managers of the businesses, they take care of the businesses, and I get to do the fun stuff. So
now, no, by take care of you, I mean you sit in your chair and they bring you grapes and like fan you as you're, enjoying watching YouTube videos.
100%. Yeah. So you see the webcam we have set up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that sounds like the life to me. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. I maybe need to be more like Ben McMillen. That's what needs to happen.
There you go.
So this isn't secret, by the way. if you follow Ben on any of his social media, you've probably seen that he also really enjoys riding motorcycles. I've seen you take some crazy trips just on bikes. And I hate to do this at the beginning of the episode, but it's going to break your heart. I think I'm going to sell my motorcycle, Ben.
Why?
I think, well, there's multiple
Dude.
reasons. To keep it simple, I wouldn't mind having
Oh,
the
man.
money, and the bike is too small for me, so I would reinvest in a larger bike
Okay.
if I'm going to stick
Oh,
with
that's
biking.
good.
But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and
That's not too
I
bad.
can't take my yeah, and I can't take my kid to daycare on the motorcycle. We talked about it before. We thought about zipping him up.
Doesn't mean you haven't tried though, right?
Well, you can zip them up in the front of your jacket, your motorcycle jacket. You can do the backpack thing like you're hiking, but on a motorcycle. All sounds very dangerous, so I haven't tried it. It's all theoretical, but I think the days are numbered, man. So I figured I'd lead off the show with a downer for you.
That is a downer. It's a bummer to hear. I was hoping to ride down and ride with you sometime. So get a bigger bike and we'll go ride.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
Ben, you're getting so many comments. We just got to hit some of these. The very
I
first
purposely
one
did
from
not-
MK Ultra. I heard bears hang Ben bags.
That's funny.
Oh man, that is real funny. Oh, my God.
Salmon Outdoors, Nobel Peace Prize nominee. I nominate him at least. Now I don't even know what you do with him at least.
Thank you.
I didn't know he got a vote. Does he get a vote?
I don't know. Backcountry Exposure says Ben doesn't have capacity to be bored. Bored is scared of Ben. I think
see,
we're
I
gonna
usually
start
have
doing
the
like Chuck
sprinkles
Norris
over
jokes
here.
with Ben. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Is like, Ben doesn't do push-ups. Ben pushes the earth down. That's what it is.
Oh my goodness.
Loafer X says Hilltop Packs. I think Ben's misspelled name should be a double secret discount code.
That's
That's a
funny.
good idea.
Fun
Yeah.
fact. I have been on the show multiple times, and if you try to search my name on your channel, you won't get the correct number of times I've been on the show because you misspell my name every single time. In a
Not
different
this
way,
time.
so.
Not today.
Nice.
Ian.
Good deal.
Ian. Not today. I double checked it because you've given me crap about that every time you've been on this show. So I'm like, for a few, I'm not gonna lie, for a couple of them, I left it on there wrong because I thought it was funny. But I was good
we
this
all
time.
move forward.
Yeah,
we don't
we're-
go back.
we all grow. We all grow. We all
You're getting to the
mature.
point where you're bound to get it right sooner or later. So this is probably just by mistake. You got it right.
It's gonna happen someday. Derwin off the rails. Ben, hear me out. Hilltop Packs OnlyFans.
I think I get on my money. Yeah. I can't make any money off this Dyneem. It's too expensive. OnlyFans, that's it.
Oh my gosh. Chuck Norris checks under his bed for Ben.
Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, that's fantastic, man. That is
That's some good
fantastic.
stuff.
So, anyways,
Yeah,
Ben.
usually I have the chat pulled up, so I purposely not watching the chat because I figured that would happen today. Get
Yeah.
a lot of grief. Yeah.
Well,
so-
what I
so
love is
love
that two of my favorite gear company owners have become friends this year. You and Chad Houghton from UGQ have become really good friends. And Chad just recently came out with a new product. And I was wondering if I could show that to you guys real quick.
Go for it.
Oh,
Would you guys be down to see that? Yeah, brand new
For sure.
product. He's been out of the ultralight industry for a while now, but I think they're making their comeback right now. Check this out. This is great.
At UGQ Outdoor, we believe that innovation should never stop. And that's why we set out to create the world's lightest and most breathable quilt ever seen. And the best part of all, it gets lighter every time you use it. Now that's innovation. UGQ Outdoor, where innovation is our middle name.
There you go,
Part of my-
boys. There you go. And I mean,
You're
come on.
awesome.
What's more innovative than no-see-um mesh on the outside of your down bag?
I had
Yeah,
I have
and
an order in for a quilt. I was gonna say, hey, change it to whatever that is, and I was like, oh wait a minute, that's not a real product at all. So,
yeah, and Backcountry Exposure, you see his comment?
No. Oh, that music though.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's copyright free. Thanks,
Well-
thanks, Chad, UGQ.
Could you imagine we have to block out an entire section of our video because of that? But
Yeah.
well, here's the thing. So I get this message from Chad today, like right before we got on air, and he just says,
Uh-huh.
this could be really good. You should check this out." And so I'm thinking, "Oh, sweet. I'll go check it out." And I was dying, man. For those who are listening and couldn't watch what just happened, Ben did a spoof video on the UGQ Instagram of a brand new quilt that
Chad
looks
did.
insanely warm. Yeah, Chad did, not Ben. Because if it was Ben, it would not have been that well produced. But Chad, but Chad does this video, and it's a quilt, probably like I'm gonna say that was like a 10-degree quilt by how fluffy it was and everything. And it is a quilt that is covered in no-see-um mesh, which all of the feathers just fall out of. So
Yeah.
it literally looked like he was in a snowstorm after he got done laying underneath it. So
Yeah, it literally does get lighter with every use.
yeah. And there's more stuff coming in here towards Ben. You're getting okay. Let's start with this one. We got Ben McMillen time.
I like that.
We've got Ben McMullet.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. We got Ben McMuffin,
Nice.
and maybe the best one of them all, Ben McLovin.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Oh! Check this out. We got to show this. Chad got in here, apologized, said his super chat, $20, $19.99 from UGQ for the copyright infringement.
Make that money.
That's right. Send us, hey, we'll copyright infringe all these things. We don't make any money off these videos. So send them all our way, buddy. So, Ben, let's talk a little bit about this new book. This is something you've been working on for a while. I know you messaged a ton of us and said, hey, send me one of your big mistakes. I want to put them in this book that I'm doing. I had no idea when I actually got the book yesterday and started reading it how good it was actually going to be. Like, dude, you're a pretty decent writer.
It's mainly geared towards like new hikers, and I appreciate you attempting to read it without being too bored. I've been writing for about 10 years. I mean, I wrote for some local newspapers. The way that actually kind of worked is I wrote a story for my dad, and it was about 10 years ago, and I wanted someone to proofread it before I handed it to my dad. Well, I took it to a local newspaper. I knew the editor, and I gave it to him and left. I just wanted him to clean it up a little bit so that I can give it to my dad. We had a family thing that happened. It was very emotional. So I wrote the story about him. Anyway, long story short, he read it, called me and said, hey, we're going to run this as a story. And I was very confused because I didn't ask for that. He says, I need a photo of your dad. So I got this photo of my dad when he was in Vietnam. And the very next day they ran it, and it was on the cover of one of our largest newspapers in our area. And that's when the fire was kind of lit. I was like, I kind of enjoyed that. So I've been writing little stories over the years for different papers in our area. Only when I want to. I don't really take assignments. I just write something, usually about business or local something, and they will write it. So I've always enjoyed it. I'm not good at it. It takes a good editor to kind of clean up my mess. I need the grammar police to jump in and help me out with that. My spelling's atrocious, but I feel like I have good ideas. And really with the help of AI, putting this book together was a lot easier. Like if this had been 3 years ago, it would have been very difficult for me anyway, to write something of that long. But it started with a series of blog posts over the years. I've been writing blog posts for Hiltop, like top 10 things don't do on the trail, 50 mistakes not to make. I mean, I have all these lists that I've made because they usually get a lot of attention. So I took all those and started building this book about 2 months ago. And then my drive to Arkansas, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point, I talked to ChatGPT on my phone the whole way down, which was about 20 plus hours, and the whole way back. And I just talked about ideas and different paragraphs I wanted to put in there and sentences I wanted to use and stockpiled all that stuff. When I got back, just started putting it all together. And then I have a friend who's actually a book editor. He really helped me kind of fine tune it. And yeah, the dream of writing a book one day, I thought would never really happen. I just didn't think I could have the patience to do it. Through these new tools we have, it was a lot easier than it would have been just a few years ago. So that's how I was able to put a book together. I did not sit down and write it from point A to point B. It would have been very difficult for someone like me, but that's how I got into writing. And that's how the book kind of started and how it ended. And I'm just as shocked as anyone else that I finished it. So there's that.
Well, here's a question for you. What was it that made you sit there and think, I think I need to write this book? Like, specifically, what was the moment when you were just like light bulb moment, I need to write this book?
So I have my other book that I've been working on for even longer is nowhere near done, and it's called Earning the View. I actually used it in a YouTube video not too long ago that I just made. The book I've been working on it for a long time. It's nowhere near finished. It's probably 20% done. During that process, it's just something I knew it would take a long time to do. But through that, I'm using these different tools. I'm like, maybe I could put together an ebook of all these mistakes hikers make. I'll make an ebook and I'll have it on our website. And that's really how it started. And the drive back from Arkansas, as I'm talking about how to put together an ebook, how to structure an ebook, how to do all this stuff. And then again, I'm talking to ChatGTP. You guys have done it, I'm sure. And I'm like, how do I structure an ebook? How do I lay this thing out? What software do I use? And it was like, you could also turn it into a book. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And I was like, okay, how many pages do I have to put a book together? And I was already at like 90 some pages, and without a whole ton of content. And it was like, okay, I'm trying to get to 150 pages. And then I started writing and started talking and writing and taking notes. And then I was at well over 200 some pages, and then I scaled it back. And so the spark was really a different book. And it was this ebook thing kind of came together faster. And then it was really ChatGTP had said, you could turn this into a real book. It's crazy what AI is doing to us by sparking new ideas. And, writer's block is no longer a thing. I may talk about what I want, and I'm having a hard time coming up with a chapter title. It gives me 20 ideas. And then it's wild what you can do. You don't have to be a writer. You just have to have a solid idea, a good story to tell. And there's tools out there that can help you tell it. So if anybody's out there, again, you don't have to be a writer. It is so satisfying getting your thoughts out on paper. Even if you get a little bit of help, it's still you. I didn't have AI write the whole book, but AI certainly helped me organize it, helped me motivate me a little bit, helped me change some words out that weren't jiving right. So the spark was a different book completely, which hopefully one day I get to finish it, but I don't know if I will or not, but here we are.
That's wild. And if you're looking for that book, you can get on Amazon right now. It's called 268 Mistakes That Hikers Make and How to Avoid Looking Like a Total Newbie in the Woods by Ben McMillen, not Ben McMillan.
Dude, I think it's so interesting. And using AI as a tool, probably twice a month, I'll use it for this show as like you said, organization or like topic ideas or stuff like that, or it'll pull resources from different places. I can click through the links and explore and learn, and then, use that information here. What a tool. I looked at the organization of it and I was like, man, very well put together, chapter by chapter. It's organized through different topics. And I bought the ebook. I think it's the first ebook I ever bought. So I was looking at it earlier today after I got it. And then I was trying to go back in before the show. It may be the first ebook. I was literally like, how do I get back to this ebook? I was going on Amazon on my phone. So I have figured it out. But I went and read. You said you had different people to send different mistakes that they have actually made on trail. And, you're well connected in this backpacking community. You have, your businesses and a lot of friends and connections. And I went through and read some of them. It cracked me up that you used a little Easter egg from this show about me backpacking.
Yes.
Not gonna
I so badly wanted to tell you I did that.
I loved that. And actually, when I read the book, Ben sends me a message. He goes, "Did you see what I called that? Would you see what I put on Jeremiah's name?" First thing Ben asked me.
So
literally said, "Go look for that, folks. Go look for it. We're not going to tell anybody. Go look for it."
Yeah, I won't spoil everything in the book, but next to each person's name, you had either a reference to them or content that they create. I thought that was awesome. That's kind of paying homage to a lot of your connections and giving them a shout out. So that was awesome. But one thing I wanted to point out with the AI, I had no idea after me using it as a resource just how powerful it's going to be. People think it's like this thing that's going to take over and like eventually, no, like I've been hearing this since I was a kid. If you go to McDonald's, it's all going to be machines making everything. They won't need employees, blah, blah, blah. And I've been alive for 30 years and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. But I think AI is going to be more what you're talking about. It's going to be artists like creating different elements and putting them together to make an image, or getting over writer's block, or helping you organize things. Or
Well, there's actually a lawsuit getting ready to happen against the guys who write the theme music for wrestlers in WWE. Have you heard about this? So one of the wrestlers comes out and she's got this awesome theme song with this woman singing it and everything. And the woman whose voice is in it is a real person, but she never sang that song. They put her voice into AI and then used it in the song so that it recorded her voice over the music. And I believe she's getting ready to sue. I think they're called Def Rebel, I think is the name of the group, and they're getting sued because they used this lady's voice in their song.
Wow.
Well, yeah. So cloning voices is interesting. So a lot of businesses or a lot of marketing companies actually clone their own voices or their talents' voices, and then they use them in ads. Like, we played around with it. I don't really want to use AI in that way. I still want it to be us doing our own videos and commercials and our voices. But we did play around with it. I used Tim's voice and I mocked it up and I put it in and it sounds like Tim. But at the end of the day, you're consuming AI in that way. And I didn't feel like that's who we wanted to be. And even for this book, I used AI to clone my own voice to see if I could read it, but I could tell it's not me. I was like, well, I'll have someone else read it, or I'll do it. I'm not sure yet. But
You know who should read it? We talked about this beforehand. Who should be reading it, Ben? Who should be reading it?
Backpacking with Jason. Jason has to do it.
He's got to be the narrator for this book.
What's going on, hikers?
That's what's got to happen. And I think if he turns it down, Jeremiah's next.
You know, on the AI, I've seen, first of all, like John said, the music artists, you know, they've done this with Drake as well. But I seen news articles of, you know, earlier somebody said something about OnlyFans. People like literally using AI, making OnlyFans, and then making money off of selling that content. And it's just like, you know, a 24-year-old sitting at his house using AI to do this. And then I also saw bands that literally don't exist that were moving up in the charts on like Apple Music, and somebody's just sitting at home using these AI tools. We even have them. I'm a high school math teacher for those that are new to the show, and I work at a public school, and every year we have these professional developments, and each year I've been signing up for AI tools, and they showed us how to make new songs. It'll do all kinds of crazy stuff that help with all this. But yeah, I think we're just going to see it more and more in the news, like I mentioned earlier.
And there's one thing it's for sure: we never use them for the thumbnails for this podcast. Ever.
John makes the thumbnails for the podcast.
We never use AI. I'll tell you, I'm having more fun making thumbnails with AI, making Jeremiah and I just like ripped on these pictures. Yeah. They're hilarious, dude.
Like, I never asked for this either. John just does this.
I just do it because it's fun and I enjoy it. And if anybody asks, they're absolutely 100% AI. And man, I have so much fun. What you don't see is that I make about 50 of them. Like, I'm just cycling through them until I find one of them that makes me laugh so hard I have to put it on there. So there was one with Jeremiah, I think, where he had his hair pulled back in a ponytail and he's just like ripped and muscles hanging out and everything. And it had to be in there.
Here's the thing about AI. So AI is like any other technology. Either you embrace it or you get left behind. And it's for us to decide, are we going to consume that or not? So let's just talk about the bands for a second. The way I look at it, hey, go do it. Explore it, create some music, find somebody to use it. You're going to cross the line at some point where people don't want to consume something that's fake. But a lot of the tools and musicians can start using it to create maybe new drum beats or new instruments we never thought of. Like, there's going to be a creative way that a creative person can still use that tool. So I'm all for it. Let's go, keep pushing. 100% it's going to destroy the world and kill us all. But while we're waiting for that, let's have some fun.
Well, here you go. Skynet's invasion of backpacking has begun.
Absolutely, yeah.
You play musical instruments as well?
I don't. I turntables back in the day. I was a DJ for many years. I traveled the country. I played nightclubs. And
what was it like touring with Limp Bizkit?
I did actually open up for Naughty by Nature. And
also nice.
In Morgantown, also for this was obviously after they were famous, much years later. And then The guy who sang "Bust a Move." What's his name? I forget
Young
his
MC.
name. Young
Young
MC.
MC.
So they were both together at a concert in Morgantown, and me and another DJ friend, we opened up for them, and they went and did the after party, and some of the guys actually showed up, which was pretty cool. We've done a few of those, but those are my favorite ones I've done.
That's cool.
Remember, we're family friendly here, but what is the craziest thing that you ever saw or experienced with the DJ world without being too raunchy?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, people having sex. So right here, it's literally crazy. So most of the places I was playing when I was touring, we're up in a booth, we're up in a wall. So we don't always have access directly to the floor. This is the touring stuff, not locally. Locally, sometimes mixed in with the crowd. But you see the entire nightclub, and you see some crazy stuff over in the VIP booths that shouldn't be happening. Girls under a table, and I'll keep it kind of PG. But that's the crazy stuff. And obviously crazy fights breaking out. I've been maced, not me personally maced, but clubs getting maced several times where the whole place clears out. That's always awful. But I got tired of it after a while. It wasn't really fun anymore. And I retired about 10 years ago from that life altogether.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very interesting, man. He's got so many chapters of life, this guy. Look at this.
I saw John one time. I was gonna make up a story about John in Vegas one time, but I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Vegas, tons of time in Vegas. So okay, we got some comments. We gotta get some comments in here because they like you, Ben. That's all I'm saying. One comment was the cover is awesome.
So the way that worked is I have the person who edited the book, his wife is an illustrator of like 20 plus years, what she does for a living. And I know she uses some AI tools for that as well. She's basically creating elements, I'm going to assume, and then putting them together herself. Then obviously all the effects and stuff and the lightning and all that crap. It is a wild cover. I designed my own cover using AI, and it was okay, and it was going to be just fine. And the very first version was terrible. People thought it was a children's book. It was so bad. And the next version was okay, but hers just knocked it out of the park. Like, I got so excited. I left them a voice memo because I was like, man, I was swearing and cussing, like how excited I was, how awesome the cover was. And so I'm trying not to swear right now. It's hard.
Well, Low for X actually said he just assumed it was going to be a coloring book.
That's next.
Jeff Peters wants to know what percentage of the royalties are going to AI.
Easily 99% for sure.
I Suck at Hiking might need to change his YouTube channel to I Suck at Reading because he said if I only knew how to read.
I struggle with reading. I personally have a difficult time reading, and I always have. I think it's ADHD. I'm always reading too far ahead. Even my own work, I really struggle sometimes, and I'll miss the mistakes that I'm making because I'm reading so fast. I have to have someone else proofread it to me, or I use a reader on my computer that reads it back to me, and that's how I hear the mistakes. I struggle to read out loud. It's crazy.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I actually have Grammarly on my computers because I do so much
awesome.
writing, and because of all the writing I have to do, if I don't have Grammarly, I'm screwed because I get going so fast. Sometimes you miss things.
Since you use Grammarly, you'll know I loaded up for the first time in Grammarly. It was just like all red. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a long night.
Well, luckily I have no idea what Grammarly is. I chose a life where I didn't have to write. I'm okay at writing, but man, it's a slog. I can read
math. You have to math.
Yeah, I have to math. I know how to do the math. I know how to use an audiobook. So we're fairly well rounded around here.
Well, you'll still get the information. You just consume it differently. That's all.
Yeah.
So, Salmon Outdoors said something about you real quick too. Salmon Outdoors said if you keep this up, you're going to be Ben McMillionaire.
Why am I broke all the time then?
Yeah, go ahead, Ben. The floor is yours.
No,
what were you going to say?
No, just if I could, I just want to encourage anybody who's even thinking about writing. Now, again, I've been writing for about 10 years. I've never used AI until this particular book. I've written, again, for the paper for the most part. I do all the blog posts. And the writing part was a bit of a struggle, but I really, really enjoyed it. It's very personally satisfying. And I got to tell you, having AI help me structure the book, help me lay out the chapters, and help me put certain paragraphs in place where it wasn't quite making sense. It's given me like a whole nother level of inspiration to do another one. And so it's, don't be afraid to use some tools. And if you try to use AI to write your entire book, it's going to come across as flat and not work. And that's not you. But trust me, you can use those tools to get your feelings out, your thoughts out. So get out there and create some content. Do it. You don't have to be a writer.
Out of curiosity, are you going to be signing copies for people that buy them coming through the shop there?
But I have a list of people that keep asking me. Yes, I will probably do that. Although my handwriting is terrible, so you could just throw a pen at it and it look the same. So
Well, I mean that's most people that sign things. And then Mim Keltra said to Jeremiah, "Don't blow my spot on OnlyFans scamming." So you ruined it for him, Jeremiah. You ruined it for him. So
with learning these tools and stuff, the AI, and you said if you don't morph with it, you're gonna get left behind. I can see
Sure.
like some of the generations that are older than your all's generation, right? Y'all are just a little bit older than I am. I remember, they didn't know how to use the internet, and whenever it come along, and now I'm seeing this AI, and I'm like, some of these kids that I'm working with at school are going to know how to utilize these tools so well. And I'm going to be the old guy in the room being like, well, can you show me how to use this? Like Grammarly, for example, I would have had
But
no idea.
But here's the beauty of it. AI can actually show you how to use AI. That's what makes this
Yeah.
completely different. Anything you want to know, it can help you with it. And there are some problems with it, and I'll explain it if you want in a second. But I have been through many different industries in my life, and I've seen these industry changes. We'll talk about photography. I've been a photographer for a gazillion years, started off in film. And when a lot of my friends were afraid to adapt to digital, I embraced them. Like, listen, history it's not going to slow down just because you don't want to change. And so I embraced digital. I love the new tools. I like express myself in new ways. If this can help me, let's go. And same thing with DJing. I started off in turntables, and then I went to like CDs. Then I went to computers. Then I actually went back to turntables that were connected to a computer. So like just constantly. Now, if you're somebody who just wants to live in the woods and live off the grid or whatever, that's a different story. But if you want to be a productive person in society, in your industry, you're gonna have to keep up. You're gonna get left behind. So.
That's the truth. That's
There's
the
my little.
truth. They're still coming, Ben. It says AI chats with Ben when it has backpacking questions.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm telling you. But the thing about AI though, it isn't always right. It's about 2% failure rate, and it's not going to tell you when it made the mistake. So be careful with like math questions. Like I have it all connected to a lot of our business on the back end and generate reports and give me advice. It's not always right. It could completely blow that out and screw it up. You really have to double check a lot of the important stuff. Anything mission critical, double check your work.
Well,
Because it's back in the days, it was like, zeros and ones. It's going to give you either a right answer or it doesn't know the answer or its computer's going to blow up. Now it'll answer your question. It may not be the right answer.
well, the nice thing is Ben answers AI's questions. So we know that we're safe because of that. So
this is why no one's AI is working right now, because I'm with you guys.
You're taking all the AI bandwidth.
It's all me.
Jeff Peters also added one more. He said, Gonex asks Ben on how to get in Jeremiah's good graces.
Do you know how hard it was not to put next to his name in the book, Jeremiah's name? I was going to put sponsored by GoNext, and I wanted to do that so bad. I was like, no. He mentioned the Long Trail. I got to say Long Trail. There's a few other Easter eggs in the book, by the way, too.
There's a comment just came up since we're talking about this AI stuff. This is good, and I love this. And Backcountry Exposure said, and now film is trendy again. Because anytime something gets so far technologically, people kind of reminisce about bringing it back to the good old days. I don't know if you remember when MP3s first got really big and people started using more digital like music devices and things like that. Suddenly, actual LP album sales, record vinyl sales went on sale, and like they went through the roof because people just missed that analog sound that they heard when they were growing up. And I think you're going to see that with this.
Absolutely. With film, to talk about Devin. So with film, again, I came from a film background. If you get too far away from the person creating the photograph, it just becomes, you're desensitized to what it is. But like with a photograph, you're telling a story. And back in the day, the story was also the person with the camera, the person who set the exposure, who took the picture. There's even a deeper story behind the photograph of the person taking it. Now we've gotten away from that a little bit, but like you said, if you swing too far one direction, it will snap back a little bit. It'll correct itself. Same thing with AI. You're going to create all this, fake content, fake videos, fake photos. At some point, you're going to earn for something that's real again, and you're going to pull back from that a little bit. So it's a tool, but you're not going to want to consume content that no one put an effort into. That's not going to be fun for you as a reader, as a viewer, as a listener. There's no value there anymore. Like, what are you gaining from that? At some point, it's going to be like, that's not worth it to me anymore. It's a waste of my time. And it'll snap back. It will.
Yeah. Well, and Devin said again, because it's Gen Z that didn't grow up with analog devices, discovering how much fun analog actually is, which is true. I mean, there's just something like, here it is right here. MK Ultra vinyl now regularly outsells CDs. So
I don't think we're going back to the CD though.
No, I think the CD is done.
Yeah, vinyl. Yeah.
The CD is a great format if you want like the best quality, the audio wise. Because actually, I went to school to be a recording engineer. That's what I actually went to school for. I did a lot of weird stuff in my life. That was my early career. And anyway, CD is like it's a really good, perfect sound, but there's no feeling to it, and that's where the vinyl comes in. Like, you can feel the record, you can hear, you can almost feel the studio producing that record. It's not perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Whenever it comes to like books, like 300 years from now, you're going to have, I don't know, you might be plugged directly into the book and you just download it into your head and you don't have to read it. But if it's like audiobook still, you're going to have people wanting like, okay, where do I find an actual tangible book that I can hold and legit read this? And it was written start to finish. Like, let me read something from the 1400s. Let me read real.
Yeah, because that's part of the experience. Hold something in your hand, it's tangible. That's part of the experience of reading the book. I mean, listening to a book is cool. That's what I do. I struggle to read, so I listen all the time in my car. But having something tangible, and I can tell you, like in our coffee shop, we have a free library wall. It is used all the time, and that wall has impressed me since we've opened. I never thought, no one's going to look at those books. Baristas wanted it. I put it in. It is used all the time, and that still impresses me that people still read books, and that's not going to go away. That's part of the experience.
Doc Watson also brings up a really good point. He says you got to buy CDs and vinyl because you don't own the music that's online because everything's a subscription service.
Yeah.
And he's right about that. And this is what Jeremiah and I are actually talking about this with vehicles and how some of the new ones, they won't let you turn on all of the things that are in the vehicle unless you pay for a subscription to use your own vehicle that you've already bought. So that's wild. That's wild to think about. So, okay, let's move on to something. Go ahead. You go ahead, and then we'll move on to something else here.
I will go on a tangent about how fasting. I was just hanging out with my dad today. We're talking about how fast things were going. I was showing my dad the AI stuff on my phone. We were asking questions and talking to it. He thought I was tricking him. He was just flabbergasted about how, and then they started talking about how things were when he was a kid and how fast things have progressed, and even like how long people used to live 200 years ago. Now how long they live now, and you're going to see things just astronomically start going even faster moving forward with AI. But carry on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, all you have to do is go on YouTube and look up AI videos from 3 or 4 years ago, and look at AI videos now. One of the worst ones I ever saw was a burger commercial, and while the people were eating the burgers, their mouths were like crumbling and molding and doing things. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, okay, recently you took a trip with a whole bunch of people out to Arkansas, and you got to do some hiking out there in the Eagle Rock Loop. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, first, I was horribly out of shape, and it was 95 degrees, and it was pretty gross, but it was amazing. It was a really cool trip. I never smelled so bad in my life. But yeah, Miyagi went, Trips was there, backpacking with Jason was there. Oh man, I'm going to screw up some names. A guy named Sam, which I never met him before. He was there. A lot of guys know Sam. I can't think of his last name. I got a list over here. Let's see. Who else did I meet there?
Midwest Backpacker?
Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy was there. The first time I met him in person, which was pretty cool. Who am I forgetting?
There was a lady there I saw on the list because I was hoping to be able to go on that trip, and I couldn't get off for the weekend to do it.
Oh, Tiffany. Tiffany, she was there. But yeah, a lot of good people were there, and it was a lot of fun. And it's one of those things where you're out there, and we're all come from different walks of life, and we're on a journey together, and you're all shared experience kind of thing, kind of pulls everybody together. And it was, we went swimming every day in a river that was so freaking clear. I never seen one I'm from Pennsylvania. Our rivers have turds in them down here. So I've never seen a river you can see the bottom, It was amazing. Went swimming every day. It's great. I lost my wedding ring. First time I jumped in, wedding ring went flying off. Lost it.
Oh no.
It was just a wedding ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
how many have you lost in your life? Are you?
Oh, the rubber one. I lose these all the time. Yeah, constantly. They break. I tear them. Yeah, so
no big deal.
Fair enough.
If you talk about real ones, I've been married twice. So I lost real one the first time.
So
Yeah.
I
Where's my
almost
wrench?
did the Eagle Rock
There it is.
loop in April.
Thank you.
That was good, Jeremiah. That was good. I almost did the Eagle Rock loop in April, but the group I was going with, instead of doing that, decided to go to the Devil's Den, I think is the name of the place we went to. So what'd you think of those mountains?
It was cool. I knew nothing about the trip. I didn't look anything up. Miyagi wrote this huge itinerary. I swear it was a book by itself. He could
Always
probably
does.
publish it.
He needs to publish
Yeah,
all
so
of his books.
I didn't even like pay attention to how far away Arkansas was, and I was supposed to fly down. Ended up not having my real ID. Ended up couldn't find my birth certificate. Everything's falling apart. So I decided I'm gonna rent a car because I don't want to take my truck. I'm just gonna rent a car and go down there. The only thing they had available was a 14-seater van. It was ridiculous. I drove that thing all the way down, and so it was like a 26 hours on the way down, 23 hours straight to come back. But anyway, I did not look up anything, and I didn't look at the temperature. I just like I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna have a good time. And the first day I was dying, man. My heart rate was going up like 200 beats. I was really struggling the first day, and then I calmed down. Second, third, fourth day, I was totally fine after that. But it was hot, a lot of hills. We loaded up the hills on the first day, and it was but it was awesome. The crew was great.
Well,
They didn't mind waiting for me.
I watched Jason's video from that? Did he say there were 6 peaks the first day? Is that right?
I knew there were several, and day one was tough, man. It was hard, and I'm not in terrible shape, but I was in bad shape for that trip. And like I said, I couldn't get my heart rate under control on day one. I'm not sure what was going on. Could have been the heat. Could have been just tired from driving all the way down there. Maybe didn't eat right on the way drive down. I don't know. But after the first day, my heart rate was completely normal and I was fine. But it was spiking really hard, and sometimes even for no reason. And I had to keep stopping. And I think it freaked everybody out, but I was fine.
Yeah, you know
Well-
what? It's just we're old guys, right?
That's 100% it.
We're old guys. Old guys just struggle, man. It's just the life. It's just what we got, and they've got to deal with the fact that us old guys can't do what we used to do back in our young 40s.
Somebody's got to come in last,
That's right,
That's
man. Hey, if you're not last, you're first. I don't want to be first.
That's it.
Well,
First
of all,
hard.
First
The
takes
irony-
way too much work. That's all I'm saying. First
Yeah.
takes way too much work.
First of all, the irony of you writing this book and you just like right now openly admitting to winging this whole trip, 95 degrees. I didn't have my ID ready, couldn't fly, had to drive 45 hours. My heart
I did
rate-
everything wrong. Everything was wrong.
Now
I am
200
not an expert. Yeah, I did not write the book from an angle that I'm a professional, because I am not. I come from an angle of I've made all these mistakes. I continue to make these mistakes. I know it's stupid. Don't be like me. That's it.
Well, the one thing I have to know from this trip, because I also watched Jason's video, and I backpacked all the people that you backpack with on that trip. I backpacked with before, except maybe one, and I have to ask. After seeing it, this personally happened to me, by the way. After seeing Jason pull a large rock out of his backpack after walking several miles and not knowing that he was carrying said rock, and knowing absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, that Miyagi put it in there. Did you see any other pranks, or did Miyagi get you at all during the? He's tied sticks to my backpack. He's thrown frisbees at me. He's hid. I walked so slow that he's hid for like 20 minutes waiting for me to catch up just so he can jump out and scare us. Literally poop, hide, wait on me, and then come back. He's put rocks in my pack. He says he didn't do it, but I think that he put bird poopy papers with pine cones in my backpack. So, do you have anything to add? What happened? Did you witness? Did he get you? What's going on?
So he didn't get me. I already heard about all this beforehand. So I was constantly checking my backpack for rocks. Literally every time I stopped, every time I took the pack off, I looked for anything that was open, and he never got me. But I also wonder if like that day one where I was kind of having some heart problems, that he didn't feel bad for me. Maybe he felt a little sorry and took it easy on me. But there was definitely shenanigans the whole time, having a good time. They had a football there. They had these big blow up things, inner tubes, whatever, put them in the river. Everybody's having a good time. And so he didn't pick on me too much. I bet he will next time, probably. It would have been welcome, no problem. But he's a fun guy. He's not the guy that maybe you see in a video. Behind the scenes, the guy loves to live life, man. He's a good dude. So I was really happy to hike with him, but he didn't pick on me. Maybe that's an open invitation to get me next time, but I'll be prepared. I'll be ready.
I don't know if you know this or how much y'all talked about it, but he also makes gear. Like he made my hammock
Oh,
proud
yeah.
of Kentucky. Did you lay eyes on anything or get any sparks kind of burning down in your belly after seeing his creations, or did you leave there and you're like, that was fun hanging out?
Oh, we definitely talked a little bit about it, and I admired his stuff since he started sewing. We even talked, years ago when he first started really making some stuff. We talked then. On the trips, I don't get into business too much. I mean, if someone asks me a question, I'll certainly answer it, but I try to just enjoy myself. I'm out there to kind of get away from it, and we certainly could have talked about it more. I think we talked about just a little bit, mainly just to tell him, hey, what you're doing is pretty cool and stuff you're making. I've always admired it, watched it, and so we didn't go overly too deep into the business side of things. Again, we're out there having a good time. I'm not out there trying to sell myself. Even actually, someone actually tried to introduce me to somebody on the trail that, hey, that guy owns Hiltop Packs, and I tried to act like it wasn't me. I told them they made that up. That wasn't really. I said I wasn't really Ben, and actually, I took it a step further, and I pointed back towards. I think it was Jason. I said, "You see that guy over there?" I said, "That guy's rich. He's a co-founder for FeetFinder.com," and I thought it was a funny thing. I was just trying to get the attention off of me for a second, and they're like looking for him over there. But I don't think they knew what FeetFinder.com was, so it was very confusing. And they just walked away.
It's all in the name.
So I have to tell you something really funny. If you notice, I went black for a second. So I'm sitting here, like, while you're talking, and I hear screaming upstairs. And I swear my son must have just broke his leg or something. And my wife's not home right now, so I've got the kids are upstairs. And my son is screaming full voice. So I had turned off the camera, ran upstairs to see what's going on. They were fighting over the TV remote.
Oh my gosh. Little Jack.
So,
bless his heart.
I hope you didn't hear the beating that happened through the microphone. No, I'm kidding. I didn't beat my children. But yeah, so I apologize for disappearing for part of this, but sometimes the paternal instinct kicks in and I have to go take care of family business. So
that's okay. We can do it again. It's okay.
Oh, let's start over again. Start the whole. Let's run the countdown. And no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So,
right. Somebody. Oh, is Loafer X? What percentage of 268 are poop mistakes? I'm curious on this trip. You can answer that question if you'd like to, but I'm curious on this trip. Did you play the "Don't Poop in the Woods"? Don't poop in the woods game.
Don't poop in the woods.
Yeah, sorry.
What is that? What's the don't poop in the woods?
It's all secure in Sector 7.
It's the game where some people are either scared or hesitant or don't prefer to, or they're uncomfortable or whatever justification that they have. Some people just get bound up whenever they head to the woods, or maybe they're too excited and their bowels don't work, like normal, or they're not regular or whatever.
I'm the guy definitely the very first day. I think I'm so amped up and excited to get out there, and I usually struggle with the first night. So I'm not gonna lie. The very first night, I went and I dug my hole, picked my spot, and yeah, I didn't have to go. I couldn't. I tried, and it was like not shooting blanks. So I went back, but I got the very next morning. I was ready to go, and I found my hole. It was already dug. That was pretty sweet, by the way. I may pre-dig my holes.
Pre-dug holes are actually a smart idea as long as somebody doesn't steal them, right, Jeremiah?
Yes,
true.
I put a little. I don't tell anybody this. I put a little flag where my thing was. So nobody steal my hole. I'm going back tomorrow morning. And so I broke every rule in my book on that one.
That's fantastic. Somebody did ask the question if "Winging It" is the title of one of your chapters.
So winging it is in there. There's a little not a chapter, but it's a part of one of the chapters. Talks about winging it. Yeah, don't wing it.
Don't wing it. Never good.
Don't wing it.
I think it talks about like looking for like water supplies, know where water is. You don't want to get out there and just guess where the water is going to be. That could be bad news, which I have done many, many times for no reason.
Yeah, dude, it looked like on that trip y'all had a ton of water. I saw spots where y'all were literally like falling backward into the water, jumping in. I saw that and I said, Arkansas is not as far away for me because I'm in South Central Kentucky. I said, I have to make it out there to that Eagle Rock Loop. That looked absolutely amazing.
I'll tell you, Jeremiah, Arkansas as a whole is just actually more beautiful than people realize.
Haven't been.
I'd never been there before. In fact, whenever Miyagi sent me a message about it, again, I'd looked up nothing about it. I wasn't even 100% sure where Arkansas was on the map. And actually, when I got there, I was like, oh, I'm pretty close to Texas. That's pretty cool. I'm such a stupid idiot. It was such a cool experience. First of all, I love doing things without any research at all. Again, not listening to my own book. But even like when I go to restaurants, I don't even read the menu. I talk to the waitress. I'm like, what do you like here? And I just order this first thing she says. I just like going with the flow, man. But that's not great advice for backpacking trips. But in this case, it worked out pretty well.
That's awesome, man.
Okay.
That's awesome. Hey, I've
Yeah.
got a question for you. Last time you were on here, we had a little conversation about tariffs.
Good
And
times.
I'm just curious. You posted something actually on TikTok and Instagram and everything a few months, maybe it's a month ago. Maybe is that about how far long ago it was? I don't know. Anyways,
I'm
but
not sure.
you were just talking about sales have been down, that kind of thing. Is there any kind of an update? Has there been any kind of bounce
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, so really, I mean, as far as like direct to customer sales, like those are actually up. Like our direct to customer sales are doing really well. In fact, we're up like 15% this year for direct to customer. The biggest problem is, and the same problem a lot of our other businesses in our space are having, is our profit margins have been squeezed. And of course, we got to raise prices, which does hurt sales a little bit. But another issue we're having is we sell to other companies like Garage Grown Gear, a bunch of other businesses. I can't control what their sales are going to be. So even though our sales are up, a lot of other businesses' sales are down that sell our gear. And so like our wholesale business is down 80% this year.
Oh,
And the
wow.
international sales are down dramatically. You're talking 80, if not more than 80%. I don't know the number for sure right now. International sales have went to squat. And that was a big part of our business for a long time. Canada, pretty much non-existent. Europe, non-existent. Like that part of the business was a big focus for us over the years. So tariffs have squeezed out our profit margins, which sucks. And all this, again, take the politics out of it. I'm not going to sit here and crap on anybody politically, but the tariff thing is bad for small business, and we want to argue about it and talk about it. I'm open-minded. We can talk, but I don't know any small business owner that deals with purchasing, producing, or selling that loves tariffs. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find one. We're paying into tariffs, and we're paying this. You already paid the government enough money. Why do I have to pay more? Coffee beans, for example. I go through an importer. I have to import coffee beans through an importer. They pay the tariff to the U.S. government. I pay them the difference or the additional fee. I already pay taxes. Why am I paying more money to the government just so they can? I don't understand how we got convinced that paying more for stuff is better. I get certain industries it works. I'm not against targeted tariffs. If someone wants to argue about that, that makes sense to me. Target tariffs, certain industries for sure. But textiles, dumb idea. Coffee, dumb idea. That just happens to be where I live. Those two spaces.
Right.
And that part's been difficult, is just losing the profit margins, trying to add it back in certain areas by raising prices on my customers, which I hate doing. And that's the reality of it. So direct to customer sales, to our customers' credit, is better than ever, but our profit margins are smaller, and like I said, international sales are down. And wholesale business, there's been businesses that have went out of business that sell our gear. We can't sell to them anymore, obviously. And there's businesses that haven't even purchased yet this year. And last year we had 12 accounts, like business to business accounts, that actually resell our gear. This year we've had 3 active ones that are actually purchasing. That's it. Mainly because out of business, or they're just not selling as much gear this year. And again, I can't control that. I can only control what we do. So in one way, business is amazing for our customers, but the industry as a whole, I think, is hurting, and part of our business suffers because of that.
Yeah, I was wondering how that was working out for you, because we had talked quite at length, and we're not going to do that today necessarily, because if you want to hear about it, we had literally an hour-long conversation about it just a few months ago. So if you want to find that, go look that up. But I am glad to hear that your person-to-person sales have been doing really well, and I have a feeling that's not going to change.
We have a really strong base, and we get, our whole marketing plan is show the thing. I'm not trying to tell you that you need it. I want to show it to you, show you how it's customized, show you how it's made, and there's a story behind it, because it's handmade in the US. And if you're someone who appreciates those behind the scenes stories, we're your company. And so I want you to want it. You don't really need it. I know you don't need our stuff. And we have built that message from day one. We haven't really varied from that message. And so our base, our customers, are pretty loyal, man. And some of the same people that have been buying our stuff from the very beginning are still buying it today, or at least sharing our content, commenting. And I love seeing familiar faces. And I still see a lot of people that have bought our stuff in 2019 and 2020 popping up. And I never forgot their faces or their names, and it's been pretty cool. So very, very loyal base has helped us grow to this point.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Brian
that's-
Winburn seems to think you are terrific.
Love
That's
Listen,
of all the jokes said today, that is the worst
That
one
is-
by a long
is-
shot.
but I'm gonna use Brian as an example. Brian is someone who's giving me some ideas, and he talks, he comments, he's sharing. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we need people like that appreciate what we do, knowing that he doesn't need our stuff. He wants it, or at least he wants to support us.
Yeah.
You know, and I deeply appreciate that more than he probably realizes. When a customer sends me an idea, it means they care. Hey, I have an idea for a product. Hey, I have an idea for a t-shirt. Hey, I have an idea for a marketing opportunity. The fact that they took that step to spend a little bit of time and text that to me or message it to me or comment, whatever, that means a lot. And you have to find some value in that as a business owner and then really lean into that. And I feel like I have, and I enjoy it more than just seen as an opportunity. I truly enjoy that part of the business too.
That's awesome. Well, one more thing real quick, unless Jeremiah, do you have something first you want to talk about before we?
Yeah, just a quick question here. And we got to get Ben out of here pretty soon. He's got an appointment, and I know we got a ton of comments, and there's a lot of stuff we could get into.
I'm good for a few minutes. Good. I'm good for a few minutes.
I have one last question for you, Ben. I'm looking at your YouTube channel, Hiltop Packs, if anybody wants to check it out. And you run a show on there, a live stream, and you bring in all kinds of different people. And you never really know what to expect because there could be people chatting, and then Ben gives you the link, and then boom, you're popped up on screen. So if anybody's interested in joining in on the show and the conversation, make sure you check out the Backpackers Blitz. When's the
I
next
got an update
episode?
for that. Yeah, so I got an
Yes.
update for that. So we took June off with the intention of getting back into it in July. Well, several other things happened in July that kind of kept Tim from joining, and Chad's been busy. It's basically was just going to be myself and Devin from Canada. It was going to be us two. I was like, well, let's just back up a second. And then Tim actually had a problem. If you guys probably heard about it, the fire out in the
New
Grand
Mexico,
Canyon.
Yeah.
So Tim is actually moving here to Waynesburg, where we're from. Tim's actually going to work in our shop. Big announcement there. Not sure if
Oh,
everybody knows that yet.
wow. You heard it here
Yeah, he'll be
first,
here.
people.
Yeah.
He's
should
not
be
just
on
going to
the
be the
show.
spokesmodel anymore. He's actually going to be like a
Nope.
grunt.
I get to boss him around in person. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And so the show is going to start back up probably next Wednesday. Me and Devin have been talking this whole time and just trying to find a time to come back into it. We're always going to do it in spurts. We're always going to do a month or two and then back off for a month or two, and just to kind of keep it fun for us. But yeah, Tim will be here in person next Wednesday. Count on it to be there. Sign in. It'll be Wednesday night, 9:00 as always. And we love putting a bunch of people in the room one time and then just talking over each other and being annoying. So I don't know what it's like to be a witness to all that, but it's fun to be in.
Well, it's funny that
Awesome.
Jeremiah asked for that because I was literally getting ready to ask the exact same question. So it's just, we've been doing it so long, we can read each other's minds, which is fantastic. Ben, real quick, what are the best ways people can find not only Hiltop Packs, but the book that you're selling, your video content, all that stuff? Why don't you tell people how they can find you?
We're pretty easy to find no matter where you search. Just search Hiltop Packs on any platform. We're pretty much everywhere. Google, you can find us easily just by searching for our website. Of course, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff there. Book is on Amazon. You can also buy the book on our website. The official book release wasn't supposed to be till like the 15th of August, but someone kind of let the cat out of the bag and posted the link to Amazon. So I went ahead and put it out there. So yeah, you can get that on Amazon or on our website. And I'm pretty excited about it. I don't need to sell a whole lot of books. It was just kind of a bucket list thing. Anyone that has purchased it, I greatly appreciate it. And since you bought it, go leave me a positive review. If you hate the book, don't leave a review at all. Don't do that. Just
If you don't have anything
throw it
nice
away.
to say, don't say anything. Just be like your grandma
Yeah,
taught you. Just do
yeah.
what your grandma taught
Help a
you.
brother out. That's
There
right.
you go. Well, Ben, thank you so much for being on, man. It's, as always, it is fantastic to have you on here.
I think it's number 5. 4 or 5. How many times have I been on here now?
You might be 5.
I'd have to go back and count. I don't remember if I said, though, by the way, that episode where you and John, I was absent that episode, but it was episode 258 on the tariffs, if anybody wanted a deeper dive. So it's not been
I
too
think you guys owe
long.
me a jacket.
20
I need a
episodes
jacket or
ago.
something, like a five timers club. I think I need a jacket or something.
Because there aren't many of you. I mean, there's not many of you that have been on that many times. So, I mean, we are now
appreciate
at
that.
almost 300 episodes. So it's crazy. Crazy,
It is
crazy.
deeply appreciated. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you later. Dude, I don't know if you've read any of this book yet, but it is fantastic.
I did.
It is
Started
so
the book.
good.
I love the intro. I didn't make it too far past the intro, but I loved it. I read about myself. Everybody loves hearing about the stuff.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I feel like I have some of the highlights, but in all genuinity, this book is intended for people that are learning to backpack and rookies. So if you're part of our audience, that may or may not fit you as a demographic, but could be a great gift to give somebody before you're about to head out on trail. I don't know about you, but I don't love babysitting people on trail. And if
No.
somebody's excited and they want to get into it and, they're really interested, this would make a great purchase for them before they ever set foot on trail to give them a head start, get them a little
Yeah.
closer to the finish line.
It's also a great coffee table book just to have sitting out because there's some really funny stuff in that book. So especially when you read about his best friend Preston and kind of the things that he's done. There's a whole section in there where he talks about turning his tent fly upside down and putting it on. And you just got to read it, man. You just got to read it. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've got a chance to backpack with Ben a couple times, and he's a lot of fun to be on trail with too. So Jeremiah, what do we got going on next week?
Well, we have Mr. Tim Buckley scheduled for next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He is going to be live from Hiltop Packs. He will have arrived officially in Pennsylvania if everything goes according to plan. He is en route at the moment. I've been texting back and forth with him. So he's been dealing with the fire, so we're going to have an interesting conversation and see what his life looks like.
Yeah, definitely. And if you haven't had a chance, check out Hiltop Packs Coffee because they make some fantastic coffee. As a matter of fact, I probably need to get an order in soon because I haven't had any in a while and I'm kind of missing it. So, Jeremiah, it's been a great time as always. And for you all, thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you guys on the next one.